guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my year or my time after uni. Finishing uni can just be such a crazy thing and so much can change within a second. At uni, you guys know that you have so many assignments. Oh my gosh, the third year was the most stressful thing. When you're coming to the end of uni, you're actually really excited to just finish and hand in your last assignments and just kind of be done with your dissertation, because that was such a hassle. One of the big changes that I felt was having all of that workload, stress, just feeling so many emotions towards the end as well, all to completely stop and for you to not have anything to think about is actually really weird. Not having an assignment to think about or deadlines, just anything to think about actually. I definitely felt a bit lost going from having so much to do to literally nothing and just not really knowing where I'm going. You spent 3 years or maybe more in this kind of routine, going back to uni and studying and then having your time off. That's kind of like a routine. Just for all of that to be over, that was my last ever time in education. I finished during COVID, so last year, oh my gosh, last year, that's so crazy to say, almost a whole year ago. When you do finish uni, I felt this huge, massive sense of relief and achievement, like you have spent 3 years working really hard towards this degree and you have finally got it, and then you're like, okay, that's done, now what? And then you just kind of feel this massive sense of don't know what you're doing, you don't know where you're going. People are completely different, so I'm talking about my experiences, but I didn't know what I really wanted to do because I hadn't been working a full-time job and trying loads of different career paths. I was studying a sports management degree. I knew that I loved business and I loved doing sport. So those are the two main things that I know about myself, but it doesn't necessarily mean you know exactly what you want to do. Also feels like added pressure on you to have it all figured out. I personally had a little bit of pressure from my family. You're getting older, they were saying, and you kind of need to figure out where you're going, like what are you doing after uni? When are you moving out, you know? I got quite a lot of pressure from it all. I actually had a few friends who were doing a master's degree, so they knew what they were doing. Some people went straight into work because they knew what they wanted to do. Some people are the same boat as me and just wasn't too sure. When people say to you, you should know what you want to do out of life and things like that, I just don't understand their logic because we haven't tried anything. So how are you supposed to know what you enjoy? I know so many people who went to university, did a degree, and then did a whole completely different career path. Everyone is on their own path, so just don't ever feel pressurized from what other people are doing and their successes and this and that. Just don't feel any pressure from anybody. You are on your own path and you are exactly where you need to be. Coming out of uni as a graduate during COVID-19, jobs are so difficult to find. Even now, I am still looking for a good job that I can do with my degree. It's just such a difficult time, and coming out of uni as a graduate is difficult already, but to have all of these job losses from COVID-19, there's so many people who are looking for jobs, just makes it so much harder to find a job after uni during this time. What I also found quite difficult was you finish your day at uni, you press submit on your dissertation, you go to graduation. I can't comment on graduation, guys, because I was not fortunate enough to be able to go to graduation, and that was probably the worst thing ever, working so hard towards your degree and not to have a celebration with your friends afterwards. I actually finished university during lockdown in COVID on my own in my student flat. I pray for you guys, if you are graduating this year, that things are so much better for you guys. It was horrible, it really was. Just not having that big celebration and partying and just enjoying like the last kind of uni moments. But yeah, definitely at uni, you do feel like quite cushioned. You get a lot of support and advice. It's all very comfortable. And then as soon as you finish, that is it. All of the support I felt like just completely diminished. It might be completely different for different universities and probably during different times, because I am talking about my experience during COVID. So we didn't have as much connection with lecturers and people from the university. I just felt like I was dropped and shoved into adult world and I wasn't prepared. So going on to friends, it was definitely difficult. You see your friends a lot of the time, completely depending on university and kind of your rotas, how often you go to uni, but a lot of the time I was going to uni at least 3 times a week. and I was always around my friends. It's very sociable. My university at St. Mary's is very international, so many people come from abroad and some people come from all over the country, and I felt like when you finish uni, you don't get to see your friends every day. They kind of go back home, and which could be really far away, so you don't have that connection to them that much anymore. Going on to student finance, all of you guys may know of this. This is probably what funds all of the partying and all of the drinking. When you first start university, student finance was the best thing in the whole entire world. Knowing that you're going to get this money to help you pay for your rent and to pay for your living, just knowing that you're having this money coming in every 3 months, I believe, it's a comfortable thing, knowing that you are going to get money in your pocket at a certain time and you know how much money you're going to get. And so you can imagine when that student finance stops, you don't have that money coming in. You aren't getting that financial support anymore. So for living, I was living in a kind of private-ish student accommodation. I had my own studio flat with a company called IQ Kingston. I really enjoyed staying with them. When I first had a look around the campus to see what accommodation was available, the top accommodation at the university, it was the same price as getting my own studio. I'm a person who enjoys my own space, peace and quiet, so that's where I decided to go. And the hardest adjustment for me was actually having security downstairs and like having locks in our room and people around me. It really made me feel safe. And so when I moved into my family house on my own, it was a big change because I didn't have lots of people around. It was literally just me. If you're living on campus or if you're living with friends in a house, I feel like it would be quite similar because you always have people around. If you're not going home and you're going home to live on your own, it does feel really odd. And also, you have gone from living with your friends, living with your parents, going from independent to dependent. And some people may really enjoy going home and just being with their family again, but some people will find it difficult because they're so used to being independent and just living with their friends. It's just a whole different environment than living with your parents. To finish off this video, guys, I'm just pretty much going to say that my experience of finishing uni was a massive adjustment. There was a massive feeling of just kind of being dropped into adult world, and finishing during COVID just made it feel even worse. There are so many big adjustments you need to make because 3 years is quite a long time and it goes so fast. When I first started, I just thought another 3 whole years of education. I don't know how this is going to go fast, but it really does. So just make every second count and just make the most out of it. If you don't know what you want to do and you don't have a career path set up or you don't have a full-time job put in place, do not put pressure on yourself. There are so many people like you in the same boat, including myself. It is a big world out there. Have a taste of the world and just figure out what you enjoy, what you don't, and just go from there. Some people may have completely different experiences and feel completely different things when they finish uni, but these are my experiences that I want to share with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed and found this video useful, and I'll see you guys soon.